Alrighty. I just burped, forgetting that this was live. Alright, I'm just posting, for anyone that's watching now, when I repost this into Patreon, I'm just posting the link to the live feed. Links live stream. Patrons only. Alright. Let's just give it a tick as people turn up. We'll just wait. Just in case anyone was curious, you can now live stream internally from YouTube. Last time I did this, we had to have like other software that you like recorded from, and then it like linked into the YouTube. No, it's just press a button. It's so easy. Hello, everyone. Let me just close the door. Erin has some friends over and they're talking outside. And the cat's in here. Come on, chatting. Out you go. But don't put your tail on the door. Okay. Okay. How are we all? So guys, if you've never been to one of these live streams before, it's more or less a Q&A. I have some things that I will talk about as well, just some things that are going on in terms of my wacky little world of freediving instruction and teaching and general things. But if you have any questions, you just write the questions here in this little chat bar area. Type here. My laptop is weird. The webcam is at the bottom of the screen, not the top. So like that's why it looks like I'm looking at the screen, but it looks like I'm looking somewhere away. Cool. Hello, freediving family. Bang. Okay. So guys, how is your diving going? Hey everyone, how is your diving going? What's been happening? Give me the feedback. Like what's been going on? I want to know if you're having any issues with anything. I want to know if anything in particular is going on. First person to type gets the first answer. The first conversation. All right, well, what I'll do is while you guys are typing, I'm going to talk about some stuff that's been going on with me. Oh, okay, sorry. We've got a question now. The question is, are you a fan of lung stretching? Yes, I am a fan of lung stretching. No, I don't believe it's necessary in all cases. Okay, I'll give you an idea of where I feel like lung stretching fits in. If you're a developing freediver, if we're a freediver, let's say in the range of like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 meters, I think lung stretching is a really good way to develop more flexibility of the thoracic cavity. After that point in time, though, it loses a lot of its significance because you may as well just be diving more and developing flexibility by having the pressure of the ocean press in on you. But I tell you what, how about we do something like this? I am going to pop down onto my floor and do some lung stretching for you guys to show you what I think is important, because I don't do a lot of lung stretching and I don't advocate a lot of lung stretching. But I'll show you what I do like. Actually, I can probably do it standing. So I'll do things where like I'll oh, I just hit the light on the roof. I'll do things where I will, like if I take in a full breath, put my arms above my head in like a monitoring position and tip over to each side. Oh God. So yeah, this light doesn't really work properly, and then when we twist it. Anyway, welcome to my falling apart house. When we tip over to each side, all right, and then same thing like forward and back. When I'm going over back, I like to like hug myself like that. That's really mostly it when it comes to lung stretching, or like taking full breaths and stretching around, or packing and then stretching around. The other thing is that I will do is the banderoll, which is where you do like a passive exhale, and then but that's actually really it. I don't do a lot of like forced exhales and reverse pack and reverse pack and reverse pack and push all the air out and then like suck the stomach in. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I think it's really, really intense for the body. Like I think the issue is like the diaphragm muscle is not not the hardy, tough muscle that we wish it was. It is relatively fragile, and if we injure it, if you injure your diaphragm, you'll be in serious trouble for most of the rest of your life. So it's a very serious injury to have. So I don't recommend that people do stretching that could potentially injure the diaphragm muscle. So I only do passive exhale stretching when I'm sucking my stomach in and pulling my diaphragm up. I don't do forced exhales. There's just no need. There's just no need. And in the morning before I dive, I don't do any stretching. Maybe I do a little bit of like deep breathing to get everything moving, but that's about it. If I'm going to do packing stretching or like lung stretching, I do it in the evening before a dive, not in the morning of the dive. Dave Mullins. I've had a sinus infection since Corona, so not much diving of late. Well, Dave, this tells me that you were very overtrained and probably sick of diving, and this is your body's way of showing you that. So guys, actually, I know I'd promised that I would have the what's Sarah saying? I'm just going to comment the comments because if people, like read out the comments because if then when people are watching this later, I don't think they get access to the comments. But so great answer, thank you. As always, I am allergic to chlorine. Do you do dry apnea training like CO2 tables on a stationary bike, etc.? Yes, absolutely. You can incorporate a lot of like a lot of what you would do in the pool. You can do apnea walking, you can do stuff on the bike. Like it's very, very, very valuable to do that kind of stuff. Like obviously, I'm gonna eat some camembert cheese by the way. Obviously, nothing is as good as dynamic. Like the best thing you can be doing for training is dynamic all the time. And static and, stuff in the pool. But if you don't like being in the pool, you can't get to the pool, you just do it all dry. You do breath holding exercises. You do breath holding walking. You do breath holding this, breath holding that. It's great. It's very versatile. Cameron, looking forward to my first freshwater dive next month. Do you find that there is a notable difference to salt water? Need to adjust your computer. There is a difference between the fresh and salt water, mostly for buoyancy, not for the computer as such. Now, this is a rough calculation, but if you're diving in freshwater, for every 10 meters that because your dive computers will be calibrated for salt water. So for every 10 meters that you go in freshwater, add 30 centimeters onto your watch. So a 30-meter dive in freshwater is a 31-meter dive, but that's so it's not a huge difference for the computer. Mostly a difference for buoyancy because you'd be free falling a lot earlier. We were just at Deep Week in Coron, and that lake is fresh water from 0 to like 12, and it's kind of brackish water and then turns salty. And so like everyone was like free falling after like 5 or 6 meters, and then like it's getting like 12, 13, 14, 15, like slowing down. But if it's fresh water all the way, you'll just sink really early. And you'll be heavy down there, so you just take off some weight. Yeah. So what I was going to say before was that I promised you guys earlier this week. Nice, a shallow free fall sounds great. Yes, it does. A shallow free fall is fantastic until you have to swim up. I promised you guys that I would have that new equalization video ready this week. And it was. We filmed it, we finished it, and we were getting ready to post it. And I watched it again. I watched it a few times, and I wasn't actually happy with it. And so I decided not to post it. And I have rewritten the script for the video, and we will film it tomorrow morning, which means tomorrow evening it should be finished and posted in here. what I actually might do for anyone that's interested, I might post the script in here tonight, because that way you can have a look at kind of what I'm talking about. You'll get an idea of what the video will be about if you are interested to read that. But obviously there's no, in the video I include clips of the MRI and other things to help, like, to support what I'm talking about. There just won't be that if you read the script. But yeah, it's basically, it's interesting. So like the general gist of it is that a lot of what a freediver's understanding of equalization, like all the understanding that we have on equalization, was just not aligning to what I was seeing in the MRI. And so, like, shit, what's going on? And so I was sort of working with a bunch of new techniques. I guinea pigged all the divers that I had with me in Coron, and based on what I did with them, and based on what I did with some other people, some other students of mine, and some other divers, I was doing some exercises with Alexei Molchanov and Dean Schausch in Panglao. Dean is also another 100-meter diver. We more or less have figured, like, what we think are really bloody good new approaches and new techniques for equalization. And we'll see how it gets received. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's, in the freediving community, there's always going to be resistance to change. So I'm interested to see how much backlash we get by just coming out and saying, like, hey, we think we were doing it wrong the whole time. Here's a different way. But we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? But here we have another question. So Cyrus is asking, any suggestion for increasing lung vital capacity, pranayama, etc.? Do you know what your lung capacity is, by the way? Have you ever done a PFT or pulmonary function test? Yes, I have done that. So my lung capacity is 8 liters, and then I can pack almost 2 liters into it. So when I'm fully packed, I am like 9.7 or 9.8 liters, depending on the breath. So, like, yes, you can. Yes, you can increase your vital capacity. I think the best way to increase your vital capacity is just with breathing, stretching. Now, by which I mean, so I just kicked the table. We call it, in the Molchanov system, we call it breathing gymnastics. I think it's, like, really good to do exercises where we are incorporating movement and breathing. Like, so the incorporation of movement and breathing, I think, is a far better way to increase flexibility, because that's all we want, right? Like, the more we increase the outward flexibility, the more we expand our vital capacity. So movement stretching is significantly better than static stretching. So I really want to move away from the whole, like, oh, I'm taking a full breath, and, like, move around a bit. I mean, I know I was just doing it 5 minutes ago, but, like, we're trying to move away from that into an area where it's more like constant movement, deep inhales and then deep exhales as we're moving in like certain ways and things like that to use that to stretch our thoracic muscles. So I think that's the best way. I don't do a lot of yoga or any yoga. So when you say pranayama, Cyrus, I'm not really, you probably know a lot more about pranayama than I do. I mean, I know I do some of it. I know a lot of the breathing that I do and we all do is pranayama, but I don't know a lot about formal pranayama. Cameron, that's good. Yeah, Cameron says, remember when hyperventilation was taught? Not that long ago. You are absolutely right. It was really not that long ago that I would okay. This is what I used to do when I have a student come along. I'd be like, oh, we're doing static, cool. We're gonna do like a 5-second inhale followed by a 5-second exhale, full breaths, and I'd get them to do that for like minutes until they were just like tingling all over. That was only a few years ago, you know. It really wasn't that long ago at all. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually like, I'm really excited to release the video, to be honest. I'm going to put it here and then I'm going to put it on YouTube as well, because I really want it to be like a public knowledge. I don't want to restrict that knowledge. I want to see if other people can take it and develop it further, and if we can just in general, as a community, like move forward and have like a new standard or a new understanding of things. But we'll see. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, because I have confirmed all my ideas with most of the world's top freedivers, and everyone is in alignment that it seems to be a better method, or it seems to be a better explanation about what is going on. But we could all be wrong, or I could be wrong. If you ask Erin, I'm wrong all the time. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes when I post it. We'll see what the response is like. But I'll put the script here for you guys tonight if you want to read it. It is a rather technical video, so actually I do recommend reading the script as you watch it, or having it in front of you as you watch it, because yeah, it is quite technical. And if you don't have a very developed understanding about some equalization techniques, or most equalization techniques, it could be hard to follow. So maybe this following with the script would be a great idea, actually. Cyrus, dynamic stretching, breathing gymnastics, brilliant. Thank you. Good. I'm glad that was helpful. Yes, dynamic stretching is the way to go, always. All right, Ethan, is that Ethan Wang, by the way? Ethan from Sydney? I just don't know your middle name, that's all. Hey, Adam, I trained a pyramid table this morning. Yes, it is Ethan. Good to see you here. I feel a really strong urge to breathe when increase to lap. Yep, 40, 50 with 30 seconds rest. So he's saying as he increases to the longer distances in a pyramid table, he's feeling very strong urge to breathe. Should I decrease the length or increase the rest time? Ethan, I think if your rest time is only 30 seconds, but the maximum distance that you're swimming is 50 meters, I think you should increase the rest time, not reduce the distance. The distance is good. It's good to swim bigger distances. It gets the body used to longer breath holds. It gets the body used to more like lactate in the muscles. I would probably increase the rest time maybe to 40 seconds or 45 seconds, and then see how you go. I think, like, in general, doing like repeat 50 meters with a minute is pretty tough. So I mean, the idea of a pyramid table is that, like, it's easy in the beginning, and then you get yourself up to a point where it's like you build up like a deficit, like you're working at a rate that's like too high to maintain, so that when you start to decrease the distance, it's still challenging on the decline. So I mean, I think 45 seconds or 40 seconds would be challenging as well. So go with that. In general, if you're experiencing an urge to breathe to the point where it's not comfortable, you need to scale back the training, right? You need to chill out a bit. You need to it needs to always feel good. I know it's a weird thing for some people to get their head around that, like, that training in the pool can feel good, but it really can feel good. As long as you enter it all, like enter the pool journey in a relaxed way, like, so you're not like, for example, let's say, like, you do your first freediving course, and this is classic old school Adam. Like, you get your students to come along, like, okay, cool, like, well, I want everyone to know what an awesome instructor I am, so I'll make sure everyone does a big static, and you coach them through to a huge static, and they all do like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and everyone's like, whoa, yeah, we're the best, good work, Adam, but it was horrible doing it. And then you get them to big dynamics, and everyone's like, whoa, yeah, we're the best. But then we've started our journey into pool training in such a negative way, in such a performance-orientated and a way that performance-orientated way, in a way that feels bad in the body, but we get big distances or big times. In general, as long as we make sure the training feels really nice at all times, you'll just naturally increase over time, or naturally progress over time, and it'll always feel good. I know it is a strange concept to understand. Okay. What else has been going on? Yesterday, I went on a TV program in Australia, and I did a breath hold with my head in a fish tank. It was horrible. So I was on the show, and they were asking me questions about freediving, and then they brought out a fish tank, and I had to do at least a 3.5 minute static hold. No warm up, no nothing. Like, I've been like sitting there chatting to these hosts and la-di-da, and then I was like, put my head in the bowl. It was the most uncomfortable static I've ever done, but it was all right. Very awkward, like bent over, like sitting in a chair, leaning over with your face in a fish tank. But yeah, I'll it should come out on TV in like a few months. They pre-record all that stuff, and I'll post it up. It's very funny. All right, Cameron. Do you tend to train with a better line dive in mind, or is a beautiful recreational dive your ultimate dive? Oh, okay. Do you know what? I've had spectacular experiences in both cases. So just correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron. You're asking me if like do I train better like if I'm diving down a line, or do I prefer to just have like a really beautiful recreational dive? Like I feel like when I'm diving down a line, the process is very internal. The process is very much like delving and diving into myself, pun intended. And when I'm diving recreationally, it's more about what's going on around me, like the fish and the creatures and the wrecks and the coral, and so they're just completely different experiences for me. And I've had phenomenal experiences diving down a line. I've had phenomenal experiences diving out, just mucking around, like swimming with humpback whales and things like that. But then like doing some of my deepest dives and feeling great doing them is some of the best experiences of my life. Cameron's is continuing, he's saying, which keeps you going more so? They both complement each other. They really both complement each other. I mean, look, no one would argue against it if I said I had a very blessed life. Like I've managed to make a life for myself where I get to dive in beautiful locations and train for most of my life. And that's a blessed life, like that's incredible. I think if for someone in my position who's diving all the time, like the pleasure you get when you're fun diving, it all bleeds into the experiences of depth, and then the training you do at depth means you're so much more comfortable to keep exploring in like the ocean when you're fun diving. Like they're all intertwined, they all feed off each other. So Ethan is asking again, if I rest over 1 minute, that will make me more comfortable. Will I lose the accumulation of CO2 for training purposes? No, not at all. I mean, like you will lose a little bit of it, but it's better to train at a lower intensity and feel better than to train at a higher intensity and feel bad. So I think in this case, the really simple answer to the question is keep your rest over a minute. Keep the rest over a minute and feel good during the training sessions. And yes, you will not be training as as high an intensity, but you'll probably be progressing more because you won't be frying your mind. You'll be keeping everything pleasant and happy. What do we got? Cyrus, do you consume any supplements beyond the basics? Anything you strongly recommend for freediving, like citrulline, perhaps? Do you use caffeine / clean pre-workout supplements on your gym dry days? Okay, so Cyrus, the only thing that I have that's not like a standard supplement is a vitamin B12 injection. So I'll have like your standard protein, creatine, branched chain amino acids, vitamin C, iron, these kind of things, like I have some spirulina pills and tablets and powders and la-di-da. But the only thing that I have that isn't like a really standard supplement will be a B12 injection. So vitamin B12, it helps you to stop becoming anemic. So I only have it once every 2 weeks during a diving or competition period. So during the middle of that phase, I'll have a little injection in the arm. I get the competition medic to do it because I'm terrified of needles and I wouldn't have anyone else do it. And that just stops you from becoming anemic, stops you from depleting the hemoglobin in your blood, because that can happen when you're diving intensively for a long time. So that's the only real thing. And before the gym, coffee. I like coffee as a pre-workout. I don't like to have other pre-workouts because I'm very sensitive to like stimulants. I feel like I'm high enough as it is, so if I have stimulants, I go really wild. So coffee is enough, and then I get my little coffee fix as well. So yeah, before a gym day, coffee, and otherwise, just constantly taking protein, creatine, BCAAs, vitamin C, iron, and folic acid to help the iron absorb. Magnesium in the evenings after a workout to help my muscles relax and all that kind of jazz. Just that kind of thing. Cool. I'm just waiting for the questions to roll in. What else was I going to say? I had some other things to talk about. I'm just really excited to get the new equalization stuff out. To be dead honest with you guys, Erin gets upset when I work on the weekends, and I was working on the script today, and she's like coming in and hassling me to stop working and la-di-da. But I was like, no, this is fun work, Erin. It's different. It's fun. So, yeah. All right. What else is on your mind, guys? What else? Do we have any questions about things? How is our diving going? Any issues? What's going on? Otherwise, if you don't ask me questions, I just start rambling, and it's not good. It's not good when I ramble. Happy wife, happy life. That is right, Cameron. Happy wife. I have a hormonal wife. Erin is a very sweet, calm, quiet, beautiful lady, except when she's pregnant. And then she's, she wants to kill me. I might ask her to come in. And say hello. Does anyone have any questions for Erin? Then we can ask her things. I'm just reading a comment, and in the comment, Cyrus has said, you don't need to read this one out, but, So basically, Cyrus is just giving me some recommendations for some plant-based, if I'm not correct, Garden of Life. Organic multivitamins made of food. Cool. Cyrus, I will check that out. I'm always keen to, research and check out what else is going on. Because to be honest, I just get some basic stuff from the chemist. So I will check that out. Dave Mullins, do you know of any competition calendars for 2019? The AIDA calendar is very hard to use, or any recommended comps? No, Dave, I don't. I honestly don't. I don't know if, okay, there used to be a few websites that would actually log all of the international rankings, and they would log all the competitions for the year. But then those people, I think they've gotten busy in life, and there were volunteers who were doing it, so they haven't been able to keep that going. But at the moment, there's nowhere where you can go, and it's just like, here are all the comps for the year. Like here, you can plan your year out. Anyone that's going to have a comp, register it here, and people will be able to see it. I mean, AIDA claimed to do that, but AIDA are a volunteer organization, so by definition, nothing gets done. AIDA have the best intentions and the best heart, but because they're all volunteers, nothing ever gets done. So that's just the nature of the beast in that sense. All right, when will you do the contraction MRI? I think in January. Yeah. So I've had a fair bit of, moving about with going to the Philippines and a few other things going on. But I think in January I'll organize to go back to the MRI and get the MRI video of contractions. I would like to have some more things to test though. So I don't want to go there just to see what are happening with contractions. I want to have several things to test. I actually want to do some packing in the MRI and see how the lungs are pressing on the heart. I want to have a good, a solid. I want to have a whole bunch of ideas to really make it a solid session. Because the truth is it's so expensive to use that I want to make the best use of the time. So if you have any recommendations or ideas, please tell me, because I'm feeling like I don't quite have enough content for the next session that I do there. But I'm thinking I want to see what packing looks like, to see how much, what happens with the arteries on the heart and the heart itself when we're packing. We want to look at what contractions look like. I want to, I don't know. I want to have more ideas. Okay. So one sec. Cyrus has quickly asked, will you make a breathing gymnastics videos for Patreon members? Yes. So I don't know. Like, basically, this is how things go with me and Patreon. Is that like sometimes I'm at home and I've got all this time to make videos, and then we go away and we get busy with like deep weeks or comps, and then I don't make a video for 2 or 3 weeks, right? Now I'm at home for 2 months, which means videos. So let me just make a note of this. I'm going to put this on my to-do list. I got my little to-do list in my phone. You ready for this? This is going to be the next video I make, besides the MRI thingy that I'll put out tomorrow. Breathing gymnastics Patreon video. Done. I'm also going to make a video on how to use the equalization tool. Oh, fun fact. Really quickly, I'll ask this question. I have a cool announcement for you guys. Cyrus, coffee is like crack to me. If I need caffeine-free time, I'll only use matcha green tea. Much more calming and energetic. It is, actually. I had a cup of matcha green tea today, and it was exactly that. It was very energetic. Much more than I expected. Ethan, what's your or other divers' opinions on coffee? It can like make us high, but meanwhile we get a quicker heart rate. So this is my opinion on caffeine, and in general, the general opinion. If you drink coffee all the time, you should be pretty fine to drink coffee before a dive. If you don't drink coffee all the time, don't drink a coffee before a dive. For example, a lot of like deep competitive freedivers will have like their little morning espresso before a dive. Like the Danish team all get together and have their morning espressos and then go diving. Your body just gets used to it. So I think that, when I first started freediving, I used to I changed everything to be like the best it could be for freediving. And then the more life has gone on, the more my mentality's been like, you know what, just live your bloody life and dive as well, and you'll be fine. As long as you don't have a full stomach when you're diving, you usually should be fine. And Dave Mullins, no Red Bull. Dave Mullins, just in case you guys don't know, loves Red Bull. So no Red Bull. Red Bull is like 5 coffees, but it does give you wings. Sorry, I do rely on vitamin B pre-dive for a clean energy boost. Yes, that's true. Vitamin B is the best. It really is. Guys, so we are going to, I just cracked my back. I'm going to make in the next, this week, a video on how to use the Molchanov equalization tool. Let me get one. Where are they? Okay, they're not in the room here. They're in the other room. But I'm going to make a video on how to use those. And any patrons that have been supporting at the $5 or $7 level for more than 4 months, or any patrons that are supporting at above the $7 level, I'll make a post about all this jazz, get one for free. So I'll just send them out. Or what I'll do, actually, I won't send them out. I'll give you like a code to go to Molchanovs and then buy one for $0, and they'll be posted out to you guys. But I will do a proper post about that in Patreon so that everyone sees it. Just as a little like thank you, and thanks for helping me make this project great and all that kind of stuff. And then we can all do it together, and I'll show you how to use them all in the best way. So yeah, I'll send all those out to you guys as well. Cool. Let me make sure I don't forget that. It's very awkward when you make a public promise and then don't follow up on your word. Molchi EQ tools for Patreon. Cool. I just got to sort out the reason why we haven't done it just yet. Like the hold up is that I just have to sort out the logistics of like making a product code with Molchanov that like you can just go and type in and get like a discounted amount of whatever the EQ trainer is, or either I do that, or I get a product code which gives you a voucher for the amount of the EQ trainer plus postage. Does that make sense? I just got to work out which is the best logistical way to get that happening for you. Have you tried breath hold on pure oxygen? How so? No, I haven't, to be honest. Okay, so I am not a very tough guy, by which I mean I don't like to do risky things. And doing breath holds on pure oxygen is a little bit risky because if you black out on a breath hold on a pure oxygen breath hold, it's a lot more complicated to revive you. Now, I actually don't know the specific medical process that make it difficult to revive you or that you have to go through to get revived. It's basically just you need some more rescue breaths and probably need to be smacked around a bit more. But I've been spoken to enough by a bunch of doctors about how it's a much more complicated situation. And because I've never really been in the situation where I felt comfortable to try it with the right medical support, I just haven't done it. Like I have done like 2-3 minute breath holds on oxygen, where it's just like you sit there and after 2 or 3 minutes you're just like, whoa, I just feel the same. Like what's going on? That's great, but I haven't done a proper one for that reason specifically. And when I see people doing them, like I kind of just like feel a bit awkward about it. Because I just think they probably don't realize how risky it is what they're doing. So that's kind of my response for that. So I wish I had a really cool response where I can be like, yeah, and I did like a huge breath hold and la-di-da. But I'm just not a very risky free diver. I tried a breath hold in the hospital, was already chemically chilled out, but wicked breath hold. Cameron, mate, if you're gonna try it somewhere, you're gonna do it in the hospital, right? How good. Oh. Yeah, I think Cyrus just put a comment up saying he's excited about the EQ videos. I am too. I am legitimately so excited about the new EQ videos, more so than for any other video that I've ever put out, I think, just because I think it might be a really, really cool, revolutionary thing. I keep going back to Cameron's comment. I was already chemically chilled, and it was a wicked breath hold. Good. Alrighty. What else? What else we got going on? Who has questions about this or that or anything? What's on your mind? Oh, I do have a question. I have a question for you guys, if you could answer me in the comments. Is this a good time to do live streams? Like, when is a time that we can hit North America, Europe, and Asia at roughly a time where people are awake? Is there a time frame that I could be awake for to do that? Because I can't quite work out when the best time to do a live stream for everyone is. Which is why I keep moving the time around to try to hit, different parts of the world. That's all. It's 1 a.m. here in Florida. Sorry, John. So this is not a good time for those in the Americas. Is that what you're saying, John? Great time to do live streams in Radelaide. Radelaide. Okay, Christiana, then I'm in Florida as well. Perfect time. Yeah. Okay, well, we're staying with it then. You guys, you're all night owls. If we pulled it back to like 5 hours earlier, I think it's like the middle of the night in Europe. That's the only issue. Well, we might just get stuck with 2 times. We get stuck with like the time that hits Asia and the Americas and the time that hits Asia and Europe. And then we'll just alternate the time frame. I understand that you are a naturally chilled guy. This is Cyrus, by the way. Cyrus has great questions. I understand you're a naturally chilled guy, but any relaxation tips? You simply rely on belly breathing? Of course. I do rely on, okay. I'm just trying to think of the best way to frame this information. Relaxation is a really personal thing, right? So like relaxation is okay, so breathing techniques in like to help induce relaxation are awesome, but relaxation is really personal in terms of like everyone gets relaxed doing different things. So I think Ethan's is written, he sings the songs, I sing, yeah, when I do static breath holds or big dynamics, I sing songs to myself in my head. So for me personally, before I'll tell you exactly what's going on in my head before like a big dive. So I'm getting ready for a big dive, and I am focused on my breathing. Now I'm focused on my breathing, but in my mind, there's parts of my brain that's going like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. What are we going to do? And then what I do is there's something called a mental program. So a mental program is a sequence of thoughts or something that you imagine, and you imagine the exact same thing before every single dive or every single breath hold or every single performance. And what happens is if you keep it consistent, it means that the second you start thinking about that thing, you gear your brain over into like dive mode or into like, business time, or in performance mode. And so if you keep that really consistent, you'll find that you actually go into your dives with less and less anxiety because your brain is prepared for what it's about to do. And it's not sitting there wondering about this or that or anything. And because you're also at the same time keeping your mind presently focused on something else. So I have a few, I've changed things up in the past. Like when I was diving at Vertical Blue, what I used to do is I'd get to the dive line, I'd start focusing on my breathing, and then what I'd do is I'd imagine a bunch of my family members, each like individually, saying like, "Oh, good luck and have a great dive," and I'd give them a big cuddle and all that kind of jazz. I'd go around like a circle of my family members, and then by the time I was getting to the end of them, like to the end, it was like, "All right, official top," and I've got to go. So that's what I was doing for my last competition. I found that very helpful. But yeah, there are books on this whole topic of like making mental programming for performance. But yeah, in general, like the mental program, just think of the same thing, something nice, something that takes your brain to a happy place before every single performance, and it'll take away a lot of that anxiety because it gears your brain over into a mode where it's ready because it knows what's about to happen. Your body knows what's about to happen because the pattern is consistent. All right, so. Nathan, when I tried the dry training of mouth fill, I found that I am not relaxed. Therefore, I'm wondering, should I practice the breath hold with mouth fill full of air in the mouth? Nathan, do you mind if I get you to clarify the question? What you're saying is when you do dry mouth fill equalization exercises, you're not relaxed. And so should you do the same exercises on breath hold? Like on breath hold, but with a full mouth? Wondering, should I practice that way? Oh, okay. Or are you saying when you do breath hold training, should you just make a mouth fill and just do all your breath holds with this? Is that what we're asking? Just waiting for the response. That's all. I'm just narrating for the people that are going to watch this later, just so you know. While I'm waiting for Nathan to get back to me, Cameron has asked, do you use the 2 kicks before a duck dive? I personally find it completely ruins it, particularly when there is a line involved. I agree, Cameron. I do not include 2 kicks before a duck dive. I'm on the surface and I duck dive. I actually do like the monofin duck dive, which is where you if you're laying sort of like, imagine you're laying like horizontal at the surface. Imagine my wrist is like my torso. My hand is my torso. My wrist is my hips, and then my forearm, my hairy forearm, is my legs. So it basically just bends 90 degrees at the hips. You push down with your feet as you stick your ass forward, and that counter movement, it really like propels you deep underwater very, very quickly. So yeah, you bend, you'll give a little kick, like a little like dolphin kick with both legs, a little kick to give you some propulsion, and then you flick the bum forward and you just like, you really get driven down. That's the duck dive that I do. Nathan now is saying, I have difficulties to hold the air all the time during free fall. Maybe the problem will be just how to relax mouth fill, just practice a lot. Do you know, okay, Nathan, I don't want to answer the question now because the video I'm going to put here about mouth fill equalization tomorrow will answer that question in in a way that is just 1,000 times better than what I'm going to say now. Basically, okay, Nathan, how's this for the approach to do? I would like you to try this new style of mouthfeel that I've been working on, and I want you to let me know if you encounter the same issues. I honestly don't think you will, but if you do, then we'll address that issue. So watch the video tomorrow. Check out, like let me know, let me know if you are encountering the same issues, and then we can address it. Otherwise, if it's sorted the problem out, then happy days. Yeah, I'm feeling very, very confident in this new mouthfeel technique, and I think it should eliminate a lot of these like standard mouthfeel issues. So yeah, I apologize for not jumping on that question right now, because the video tomorrow will sort that one out for sure. Sounds great. I'll definitely try it. Looking forward to the video as always. Good. Cool. Beautiful. Alrighty, guys. If anyone has any final questions, do you want to pop them in now? Otherwise, we might start wrapping up. Now that I'm home, by the way, for the next 2 months, we can do this pretty regularly. So I like doing the Patreon live streams. They're very nice. But yeah, so any final questions? God, I might even do a YouTube live stream. That would be nuts. Any final questions? And then I'm gonna go and do a little gym workout and have some food and go to bed. Oh, and we're waiting for the final questions. And we're waiting. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Do you have any issues with sticky eustachian tubes, or are you blessed? No, I have issues with sticky eustachian tubes. I think that the more you dive, the better you get at managing it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so right now I can be like all blocked up in the sinuses and sticky in the ears, and I can most days can still get a dive in. Like I can still dive, like diving up to teach or to do something like that. Not dive for myself. I'd be all like, but no, I'm like anyone else that gets sticky ears or tight ears or phlegmy, or I get colds and I get sick, and you just deal with it, or you just learn how to manage it. But yeah, definitely human. What's the ideal pool training time length? About 1 hour to an hour and a half. In that 1 hour or an hour and a half, probably only about 20 to 30 minutes of that time should be spent breath holding or doing breath holding exercises, and all the time around that should be spent doing like warm ups, warm downs, working on technique and things like that. That would be ideal for sure. Beautiful. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Cyrus, for that lovely message. And thank you guys thank you once again for supporting on Patreon. Thank you. John Adam been throwing at my dive. Oh, we got more questions. Wait, Adam been throwing rainbows at my dives, trying to get in, breathe up. Oh, good. That was a funny comment. I won't read it out though. Anyway, thank you guys. Yes, thank you so much. I'll end the stream now. But yes, I will see some of you very soon. I'll do some more live streams probably the week after that, maybe after Christmas. We'll let Christmas go, and then we'll start doing more live streams again. Anyway, and if you have any questions, just write me a message at any point in time. Any questions at all, write me a message on Patreon. I always get back to them as fast as I can. So beautiful. Thank you guys. And I will see you again very soon.